Hello, good morning everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, welcome to today's webinar. You can see the topic that I am taking up today is interpersonal communication, soft skills and employability. Okay, how these two are going to tell on your job prospects, and this is module 5. In case you have any questions, you can ask later on. I'll give you some time for Q&A session. Okay, now just look at the title. Relevance of soft skills in relation to what? In relation to interpersonal communication and employability. Okay, and look at the quote that I have over here. It's by Sir Andrew Foster. He is an eminent personality. Okay, he is a professor in Brown University and he is a microeconomist, and he has opened some 30 to 40 schools for the downtrodden people in South Africa. So what does he say? What is his take on soft skills? He says that, see, the nation's competitiveness requires a very crystal clear focus on skills. Okay, if a nation has to go forward, the youngsters or whoever are the people who are taking it forward need to be very clear on their skills. Okay, now what are the objectives of this webinar? Now, we are going to explore the components of soft skills which are needed for employability. Okay, we are going to highlight the need to acquire soft skills and what are those soft skills, as well as the importance of interpersonal communication. How interpersonal communication plays a major role uh, in being employable. Now, abstract. What do you mean by an abstract? An abstract is a kind of summary. Okay. Now, see, for an effective communication system and for either an individual or an organization, if we have to flourish and function in a proper manner, an effective communication system is very, very essential. It is, so to say, the lifeblood. Okay, and then we need to sensitize aspiring youngsters. What do you mean by aspiring? Youngsters like you people who aspire to, become something, someone. Okay, you need to be sensitized. What is the meaning of being sensitized? You need to be made aware of the importance of soft skills. Okay, and how is it, and what are the needs of the job market? What usually the job market or the hiring profit, the HRs, what will be they looking for in the prospective employees? Next, so when you look at these two things, one is at an organizational level or an individual level, if you need to function well for the sake of flourishing, and then if you are aspiring to become someone, okay, it becomes very, very essential that you arm yourselves with soft skills. And the amount of soft skills you have, the percentage that you have, that is the percentage would be about your success rates. Okay, so the keywords of today's presentation would be employability, interpersonal communication and soft skills. What do you mean by soft skills? Can anyone answer? See, you are just think of this as a classroom. Okay, the only thing is you can see me and I can't, but then let us see this as a virtual classroom, and we'll have a kind of normal session. If you have any questions, please unmute and you can ask the question, and if you have some answers, you are free to answer. Okay, now what are soft skills? Now, soft skills are essentially people skills. What do you mean by people skills? What do you mean by people skills? See, you can be a very good programmer, you can be a very good, computer personnel, in the sense that you need to know your whatever theory or practicals or whatever you are learning, you need to have the knowledge for that, because you are interacting with a computer, isn't it? PC. But when you are interacting with people, It's not enough if you know one thing or two. You need to know a lot many things to become popular or to become famous or to reach your goal or whatever. So that those skills which are essential when you are interacting with people are known as soft skills, and that is why they are also known as people skills. Now, uh, these are personality specific skills. What do you mean by personality specific skills? What do you mean by personality specific skills? See, no two people are the same. I have been telling this time and again that each one is unique. Each one, it's the way you think, okay, the way you interact, everything is you are very different from the other person. And then I'm sure you have known about, you have heard about the different personalities that we have. Okay, so soft skills are very, they are very person specific. Like no two people, see, all of us know about soft skills, but then do we react in the same manner? Do we interact with each other in the same manner? Definitely not. And the more the degree, the more you have soft skills, the degree, the more the greater the degree of soft skills that you possess, it, the greater your chances of leading. Okay, the greater your chances of becoming a leader. And you need certain niche skills to emerge as a leader. Now, soft skills, what are soft skills? Now, soft skills are essentially skills like interpersonal communication, okay, teamwork, creativity, time management, and work ethics. What do you mean by interpersonal communication? How sensitive you are when you're talking to someone, okay, how good a team leader you are, okay, how creative you are in coming putting across ideas, how well can you manage your time, and how good are your work ethics. And now, after all this, I would like you to look at a quote from Arthur Miller. And this is very, this is kind of comes under meta language or paralinguistics. I had last week I had uploaded the video of last week's webinar. If you have gone through that, I have spoken about this in at great length. Okay, so who is Arthur Miller? See, when you are reading anybody's quote, you need to, I would advise you, or I would recommend that you try to first look up who the person is, and then go into the quote. Now, Arthur Miller is a very famous American dramatist, and he is very famous for his play, The Death of a Salesman, which went on to become one of the classic plays of American literature. Okay, now he says, it is not what you say, but how you say it is very important. Now, how can we become effective communicators? How can you, what do you term as effective communication? Now, if you have the ability to communicate effectively, okay, like I have told you earlier, it increases your overall productivity and employability. Now, what do you mean by productivity? Now, imagine you are working in a team, okay, you are working in a team, and then there are some 4 or 5 team members. You are working on a project, okay. Now, of course, you first brainstorm with each other and so on. So what happens is, if you are able to, you know put across your ideas in a very effective manner, probably your productivity increases. You'll be more able to be meaningful in whatever you're communicating. And of course, the more your productivity goes up, of course, employers will be looking for that, isn't it? They'll want their employees to be more productive. Next, with good interpersonal communication skills, like I told you, you can coordinate work, develop relationships, and promote a sense of well-being. What do you mean by a sense of well-being? You kind of feel connected with each other, okay, connected to each other. And then, see, many of us, when we speak of communication skills, good communication skills, most of us think it is to do with the fluency of one's language. And when I speak of language, by default it is English, but it can be true in any languages that we speak, okay, because that's the mean through which we communicate. So, but I would like to tell you here, I guess I must have told this in class. Of course, fluency is important, but that's not the only thing when we are talking about communication skills. When you say good communication skills, apart from your fluency, you need to look into the other non-verbal categories of communication also. Next, now, soft skills today they have become the mantra of employability. Okay, and I'm sure you know. I don't need to explain what is the meaning of mantra over here. It is a potent kind of thing with which never fails. So, soft skills or people skills, they are used. These terms are used to describe a cluster of personal qualities. Like I told you earlier, remember, it's not just one or two things that we are talking about. It's a cluster. It's a cluster of personal qualities like ethics, etiquettes. Ethics is how honest you are. Okay, how much can people bank on you? Etiquettes are how well mannered you are. Etiquettes are very, very important. And what are your habits? Like, are you, do you keep your cabin, your books, even your email? I mean, do you keep it clean? And how do you come across? Are you time conscious? Okay. Do you take into account your team members' attitudes or ideas? And then how do you look at yourself? How do you look at others? And social graces. Do you have a habit of minding your p's and q's? Do you say thank you, or do you wish someone? Social graces, social graces. Okay, these things, uh, the sum total of these things, that goes towards making someone an effective communicator. Now, soft skills, the mantra of employability and interpersonal relationships as well as career growth, these should be carefully nurtured. Now, can you see the picture there? Can someone comment on that? I would like to have your inputs over here. See, I might talk for half an hour, but I believe that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Anyone? Okay, Renuka. Yes. No, instead of typing, I would prefer if you unmuted your audio and spoke to because everyone can hear you then. Renuka, yes, instead of chatting, I mean typing, why don't you please speak up? Anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, how do you, uh, couple the word nurture, and how do you explain the picture that is over here?
So, uh, it's been growing and like
Yes, you're right. Very good.
it is
Anybody else? Yes.
it is nourishing itself with all
Okay.
the.
Okay. Yes. Anyone? Who is that? Thank you, Renuka. Would you like to continue? Would you like to add something else? Anybody else? Yes, it's showing, it's showing a young sapling. I think it's a tiny plant, but then it has a huge potential to grow into a big tree, isn't it? A tiny sapling has, it's the seed. It has the potential to grow into a very great stature. So likewise, the soft skills, just knowing about it is, just like you have germinated a seed, but that doesn't make it, that doesn't make it into a plant or a tree. It needs careful nurturing. So your interpersonal relationships, career growth, whatever, it needs to be nurtured. It needs to be taken care of day in and day out. Just like the way we water a plant, we make sure that it has enough sunlight. Suppose if you give it too much of sunlight or too much of water, what happens? The plant dies. So it should be just optimum, whatever it is. It should be nurtured in a proper manner. Only then probably your chances of being successful will grow. Next, which are the relevant soft skills? Written communication, you have written communication, oral, non-verbal, and listening. Now, these are the four prominent skills, okay, which come under, which are very relevant to one's employability. But ironically, these are the much neglected ones. We believe in talking, of course, yes, but we don't believe that we need to be, good in writing. Writing skills are very important. That's exactly why VTU, in your syllabus, you have something to do with writing, essays, and précis, and so on. Writing skills. Oral communication, yes, we learn how to speak and so on. Non-verbal, we don't. writing skills, then spoken, oral communication, then you have non-verbal communication here, and then listening skills. The thing is, we give importance only to oral communication, but we kind of neglect written as well as non-verbal and listening skills. We never listen. That's a very hardly looked up area these days. So, if you want to climb up your ladder, if you want to climb up in your career, you need to be a very good written communicator. If your oral communication is good, if your listening skills is good, if your non-verbal communication is good, okay, you'll reach to a certain extent. But if you want to reach the apex, then written communication has to be, because that is wherein probably you'll be sending a report, to the management and so on. Non-verbal, I have taken up in my previous session. It's not what you speak, it's the way you speak. And communication doesn't happen in vacuum. You'll be looking at the person, okay? And by looking at a person, by looking at non-verbal clues, we understand a lot. And the lastly, the listening skills. See, there are different types of listening. Okay, I'll be going through that some other day. Right now, I'd like to tell you that unless we listen properly, okay, we can't communicate in an effective manner. Next, written communication. These reveal one's ability to think clearly and to speak the language in an effective manner. And the effective writing comprises of the ABCs of written communication. We call it the ABCs of written communication. You have accuracy, brevity, and clarity. But what do you mean by accuracy? Here, when we speak of accuracy, we are talking about the technical accuracy of the language. We are talking about grammar. It has to be very correct. When you speak of brevity, brevity is being brief. See, these days everyone runs short of time. We don't have enough time. Okay, none of us have enough time to enroll ourselves into this and that. So what happens is you need to be brief. Brief. Whatever you have to say it in a few sentences. And whatever you say, it has to be very clear. Make sure that you choose the correct words. Make sure you are using the correct words, that because I have told you words have different shades of meaning. Next, see, these days we don't write to impress, we write to express, and we need to use the KISS principle. That is, we need to keep the words short and simple. Okay, KISS, keep it short and simple, because they are the effective blocks of written communication. And when you write something, see, when you are speaking in an oral communication, what happens is, you cannot you can look at the body language, so that gives you a lot of ideas. But then when you're writing, if you have written something, what happens is your choice of words that goes towards creating a picture. Okay, so you need to be very clear of your choice of words. So make sure you have good written communication skills if you want to reach the top. Oral communication, the study of human behavior shows that 70% of our waking time we spend in communicating. Out of that, can you see the pie chart here? The blue color, this is 45% is listening, 30% is speaking, 16 reading, and 9 writing. So 75% of the time, that is 45 plus 30, we spend in listening and speaking, but we speak more and we listen less, isn't, don't we? I mean, including myself. Sometimes I believe I might be telling you all these things, but I am a very bad listener. Most of the times I never listen. Okay, so we need to work towards being a better listener. Okay, so that goes to show the importance of listening. But unfortunately, we teach our youngsters, we teach our kids, okay, to read, write, speak, dance, whatnot, but we don't teach them the importance of listening. So non-verbal communication, it's a set of soft skills that we need to have, and I have explained this. I'll just go through this at a fast pace. kinesics, your body language. Okay, oculesics is the language of eye, chronomics, time language. Uh, for example, how aware you are of your body language. Okay, are you maintaining an eye contact? How do you are your eyes telling someone something which you wouldn't want them to know? How good a time manager you are? How well do you manage your time? And we can make a lot of we can understand so many things by the language of smell. It kind of brings up, it jogs your memory. And then the language of touch, like I've told you in my earlier session, it's a tricky set of symbols. You need to be it's very culture specific, and you need to be aware of these things. And the language of space, how far or how close you are when you're talking to someone. Silence, it speaks more than whatever uh, the language tells us. If you are really listening in between the lines, silence tells you a lot many things. And paralinguistics or meta language, which means it's about the way you say, not what you say. Next, we move on to listening skills. Now, listening is the key life skill. Okay, like I've told you earlier, it's very, very important that we listen properly. And Stephen R. Covey, in his bestseller, this is one of he's very well known for this book of his, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. In this, he summarizes habit 5 as empathetic listening. Okay, what do you mean by empathetic listening? Empathetic listening is being empathetic towards someone who is talking to you. First, seek to understand. That is, when you are listening to someone, first you need to understand what they are trying to tell you, and then you can tell them what they need to be understood. First, seek to understand, then to be understood. He put down empathetic listening as one of the important habits of highly of one of the very important habits of very highly effective people. If possible, please read. I mean, these books you can get even on Google or Kindle. Even soft copies, I believe, are available. Let's just please go through it. It has a wealth of meaning, and it gives you a lot of understanding when it comes to listening. And not just listening, it speaks about all the 7 habits of highly effective people. So if you want to be one, I recommend you read this book. It's a classic in its own right. Okay, and he's a self motivation speaker, and he has authored some more than 70 books. This is his bestseller. Next, how do you link soft skills to employability? Now, uh, see, what are the softer aspects of one's job requirements? For example, tomorrow, if you're whichever branch you are studying in right now, tomorrow, if you are suppose if you are being hired as a programmer, of course, it goes without saying that you'll have sound knowledge in your basics. Okay, but then what are the things that you have? What are the other qualities that you possess will lead the final touch. Soft skills are like that final touch, the gloss of a finished product. It's not enough. See, for example, when you cook something, okay, it's not enough if you just cook something. The garnishing part, that's the final touch. It's very important. That gives the food the appealing touch, isn't it? Likewise, suppose you're attending a party or whatever. You finish dressing, okay, and then what is the final touch that you apply? What is the gloss of your finished dressing up? Anyone? No? Are you there? Okay, so probably you spray yourself with a perfume. That's the final touch. So everything requires a final touch, and when it comes to employability, soft skills lend a person the final touch, like a finished product. Now, these are the different employability skills. Communication, written communication, your ability to identify problems, how logically can you think and solve, how punctual you are, okay, how are you willing to learn from your mistakes, Are you a person who is willing to unlearn and relearn? Okay, and how good you are when it comes to communicating face to face, interpersonal communication, whether you can think creatively or not, how creative you a person you are, and whether you are an empathetic person, that is whether you have the ability to respect the views and contributions of your team members, and whether you are adaptable, whether you can, so suppose you are, say in your project you have come to a certain distance, okay, then somebody tells you there is an error, are you ready to go back and change direction? That's adaptability. Okay, that it's a very highly looked for quality in people. And how positive person you are, how positive you are, positive outlook you have. Now, the more soft skills that an individual exhibits, the faster and the greater his career growth. And the more soft skills, you can see the picture, the faster you can go in your career. Now, how do we acquire, how does one acquire soft skills? Now, please remember the picture of nurturing which I had shown you. Okay, a plant, it doesn't grow on its own, it doesn't grow on its own, okay, it needs careful tending and nurturing. So likewise soft skills also require a careful nurturing. Now human and social skills, okay, attitudes, values and beliefs, these require much time and support as well as constructive feedback for us to develop a proficiency. So suppose many of you, see you have studied English from from your nursery, but still many of you don't speak the language because you have this kind of idea or a negative idea that your English is not good enough, or probably you might make some mistake. So what? So what? None of us learn without making mistakes, do we? So constructive feedback is very, very useful here, and it helps you to develop your proficiency. Now, Brian Tracy, again, he's a motivational speaker. He believes that communication skill is something which you can learn. It's like riding a bicycle or typing. You won't acquire proficiency in the very beginning. For example, if it's typing, you really need to work hard on it. And bicycle riding, I'm sure I've asked this question. Uh, if you have learned to ride a bicycle, how many times did you fall down? But did it stop you from learning? No. Why was that? Because you wanted to learn. So if you are willing to work at developing your soft skills, definitely you can improve at a very rapid pace, and thereby you can improve the quality of every part of your life. What makes an impression? This is a repeat slide from my previous presentation. Your body language, 55%. The way you speak takes up 38, and your exact words are just 7%. So make sure that you are aware of your body language, and make sure that you are sensitive to other people's needs and views, okay, and then go ahead and speak whatever you have to. So we are going to conclude this now. What did Aristotle had to say about excellence? He said, excellence is not an act, but it's a habit, because what we repeatedly do, we become. Okay, so it can be something which can be developed. Our confidence, okay, your confidence levels, the fluency, your readiness of mind. What do you mean by readiness of mind? Readiness of mind is how fast you can think on your feet. Okay, these stand out as the attributes of a personality. A personality, it's an abstract term. It can mean so many things, and the outcome is a person. So in today's scenario, soft skills have become the buzzword. It's the new buzzword, the mantra of employability. And having good communication skills, it paves your way towards acquiring your dream, getting that much coveted job, Any of you? Do you have your sites? Have you trained your sites on any companies? Would you like to join? Have you decided as of now, like, are you looking at any companies that you'd like to join? Anyone? So, try to improve yourselves from day one. I have a little trivia, okay, a short note on Andrew Foster. Please go through it. So that you'll know a little about the, about the people that have used as their quotes in this um, presentation. Andrew Foster, he was also, many regarded him as Thomas Hopkins Gaudet of Africa, because he went on to establish 32 schools for the deaf in 13 African nations. He is a professor of economics and health services, policy and practice in Brown University. Okay, next, Stephen Richards Covey. He was an American educator, author, businessman, and keynote speaker. His most popular book to this date is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It had been, it was a chartbuster. Next, Brian Tracy is a Canadian American motivational public speaker and self development author. He's the author of over 70 books. Can you imagine that? 70 that have been translated into dozens of languages. These are some of his popular books: Earn What You're Really Worth, Eat That Frog, and The Psychology of Achievement. Thank you. Thank you for being there. I guess I finished mine a little early today. Okay, I'm open for questions now. Anybody? Any questions? Please feel free to ask questions. Any doubts that you have? No one? Okay, Vanita. Why can't you be vocal, Vanita? Why do you need to type? Vanita, have you left? No questions? Anyone? I'm open to questions now. Please feel free. I'm meeting after all of you after a very long time, isn't it? A long, long time actually. Okay, if that's it, I'd like to call it a day. Have a good day and thanks for watching.